Homer versus Lisa and the 8th Commandment is a brilliant episode. It was timely then, it's timely now. It's weird for a Simpsons episode to address something this topical while still being relevant 20 years later. This originally aired in July of 1991, directed by Rich Moore. And in this episode, Homer gets free cable. This sleazy cable guy comes along and says he can hook him up for next to nothing, and he gets free cable. And of course, this is something that would have been quite prevalent at the time when cable television was starting to become quite a thing. And sure, nowadays, getting Freeview television, at the very least, is something that pretty much everybody expects. I don't even think it's possible to just have 5 channels anymore because you need to be digital ready. But certainly back then, with the prevalence of cable, getting cheap or illegal cable was definitely something that was going to be very topical. And I think The Simpsons addressing that as a television show was definitely worthwhile. And I think the way they handled it in the episode is very comical. It's obviously very funny, but it also works really well with delivering this message through Lisa. Lisa is obviously the one who is concerned about this free cable, and then she suddenly starts worrying about all of the other things that she might be stealing in life. Marge eats 2 grapes while shopping, and Lisa demands that Marge pays for those 2 grapes, which, I think most people... I genuinely haven't ever snacked on the food I'm buying while shopping, usually because I don't buy food that is loose, like a grape. Don't like grapes. But I think most people who buy that kind of loose food are going to have a snack or 2 at some point, and to Lisa, this is the worst thing that Marge could ever have possibly done. And she takes it a little bit to the extreme, to the extent where you can kind of receive the message without feeling like you're being lectured, because the message of do not steal becomes so ludicrous that you don't feel like The Simpsons is lecturing you about stealing, but you're still getting the message that is being delivered to Homer through stealing of cable. So I think they've done it pretty expertly. It's a lot of fun. Really thoroughly enjoyed this episode from start to finish. And obviously, yes, as I said, cable is something we all kind of expect nowadays, or Freeview, or some kind of digital package. But of course, there's online streaming, torrents, other illegal forms of obtaining content. So it still is very relevant, if slightly tweaked. And unfortunately, I expect it always will be relevant in one way or another. Homer vs. Lisa and the 8th Commandment is a fantastic episode. I truly adored it. Very funny. It includes pretty much all of the characters. Moe's there, Pooh's there, Mr. Burns, Smithers, Barney. A lot of the supporting characters are there. It's great fun. Absolutely love it.